Welcome back to Worth Coin. Today we're diving into the top 6 most valuable 1-cent coins in U.S. history. These small coins hold big stories and even bigger value. Let's get started. First up, the 1979 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a copper-based coin that holds both historical and numismatic interest. Though it is generally common in circulation, it features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, originally designed by Victor David Brenner, and first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro, which had been in use since 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and replaced the earlier wheat ears design. The 1979 cent was struck by the U.S. Mint at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark, with the San Francisco version being produced as a proof coin for collectors. In terms of composition, the 1979 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, as it predates the 1982 shift to copper-plated zinc planchets. The mintage numbers are very high, with over 6 billion pennies struck across all 3 mints, making it an extremely common coin in both circulated and uncirculated condition. While the base value of a circulated 1979 penny is typically just 1 cent, uncirculated examples, especially those with high grades from third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch modest premiums ranging from $1 to $10. Proof versions, especially deep cameo types, are also of interest to collectors and can be worth $2 to $5 or more, depending on grade and appearance. Notably, there are no major widespread errors or varieties associated with the 1979 cent that would drive exceptionally high collector value, though minor varieties such as doubling or off-center strikes can occur and carry premiums depending on severity and condition. Next up, the 1967 United States 1-cent coin, known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a very common coin in terms of mintage, but occasionally appears with an unusual black shade or dark coloration, which can spark curiosity. This penny features the bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro. The year 1967 was part of a transitional period in U.S. coinage. During this time, the U.S. Mint temporarily suspended the use of mint marks to discourage coin hoarding caused by speculation and silver shortages. As a result, all 1967 pennies were struck without a mint mark, though they were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In terms of composition, the 1967 cent is made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, the standard alloy for cents before the switch to copper-plated zinc in 1982. The total mintage for 1967 cents was extremely high, with over 3 billion coins struck, making it one of the most heavily produced dates in the series and very common in circulation. The black shade, sometimes seen on 1967 cents, is not a recognized mint variety or official error. Instead, this dark appearance is almost always due to environmental exposure, chemical reactions, or improper storage. Copper is a highly reactive metal, and over time it can oxidize or react with elements like sulfur or moisture in the air, resulting in various color changes, including brown, dark gray, or black tones. In some cases, the coin may have been exposed to fire, buried in soil, or chemically cleaned, all of which can alter its surface color and texture. Next up, the 1972 D United States 1-cent coin, also known as a Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a common copper penny struck at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark just below the date identifies its origin. This coin features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro. It was minted during a time when copper coins were still being used widely, before the composition was changed in 1982 due to rising metal costs. The composition of the 1972 D penny is 95% copper and 5% zinc, and it weighs 3.11 grams. The Denver Mint produced over 2.6 billion of these coins, making it very common. A circulated example typically holds just face value, but high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can be worth $1 to $10, and potentially more if they have exceptional luster, strong strike, or are in pristine condition. A 1972-D penny that appears brown in color is perfectly normal and expected. As copper coins age and react with the environment, they naturally oxidize and change from their original reddish tone to various shades of brown. The brown color indicates a circulated coin, or one that has toned due to age and storage conditions. Professional coin graders use three terms for copper coins: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. Brown is the most common classification for older circulated copper cents, and while it's natural, it is generally considered less valuable than a red or red-brown coin of the same grade. There are no major known varieties or errors specifically tied to the 1972 D penny that would significantly raise its value, unlike the 1972 Philadelphia penny, which has a well-known double-die obverse variety. However, small mint errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets can exist on 1972 D pennies, and may carry additional value depending on severity and collector interest. In summary, the 1972 D brown color penny is a standard copper Lincoln cent from the Denver Mint with extremely high mintage. Its brown tone is a natural result of copper aging and does not increase its value. In circulated condition, it's worth 1 cent. Uncirculated or mint state examples can be worth a few dollars, and coins with certified grades or mint errors may bring higher premiums depending on rarity and condition. Next up, the 1993 United States 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a modern copper-plated zinc penny, featuring the enduring design of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse back. The obverse was originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of his birth. By 1993, the composition of the U.S. 1-cent coin had already changed from the original copper alloy to a copper-plated zinc core, which had been adopted in mid-1982 due to the rising cost of copper. This means the 1993 penny consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, and it weighs 2.5 grams compared to the older 3.11-gram all-copper pennies. The 1993 penny was minted in large quantities at two facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 5.6 billion coins, while the Denver Mint struck around 6.4 billion, making the total mintage over 12 billion coins for the year, one of the highest for any U.S. coin in modern times. Because of this huge production, the coin is extremely common and generally holds only face value, 1 cent, in circulated condition. However, uncirculated examples in mint state, MS-65 or higher, can be worth slightly more to collectors, usually between 25 cents and $2, depending on condition, color, red coins are most valuable, and eye appeal. Coins in high-end certified grades, such as MS-68 or above, can be worth $15 to $50 or more, but these are relatively rare. As for varieties and errors, the 1993 penny is not known for any major doubled dies or key varieties like the 1955 or 1972 cents. Still, minor errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or plating issues may occur and carry small premiums depending on severity, condition, and collector interest. Next up, the 1973 D United States 1-cent coin is a Lincoln Memorial cent minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark below the date. This coin features the long-running obverse design by Victor David Brenner, showcasing the bust of President Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse design by Frank Gasparro, which displays the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The memorial reverse was used from 1959 to 2008, honoring Lincoln's legacy both as president and as the symbol of unity during the Civil War. The 1973 D penny was minted during a period when the United States was still using the traditional 95% copper, 5% zinc alloy, which gives these coins their distinctive reddish or brown hue. Each penny from this era weighs 3.11 grams. The total mintage for the 1973 D cent was extremely high, with over 3.5 billion coins struck at the Denver Mint. Because of this massive production, the 1973 D penny is considered very common, especially in circulated condition. In terms of value, a circulated 1973 D penny is typically worth only its face value of 1 cent, unless it has an unusual error or is in exceptional condition. Uncirculated examples, especially those that have been well preserved and display full original red color and no wear, can be worth between 10 cents and $1. If professionally graded at MS-65 or higher, the value can rise to around $5 to $15, with rare near-perfect examples, MS-67 plus, possibly reaching $100 or more, though such grades are uncommon. As of now, there are no widely recognized major varieties or errors specifically tied to the 1973 D penny. However, like with many coins, minor errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, RPMs, can occur. If such errors are dramatic or well-defined, they may hold collector interest and be valued from a few dollars to $50 or more, depending on rarity and condition. Next up, the 1977-D United States 1-cent coin is a Lincoln Memorial cent struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse. This coin features the enduring portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. This reverse was used from 1959 to 2008, representing Lincoln's enduring legacy and symbolizing national unity. The 1977-D penny is made of the pre-1982 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, weighing 3.11 grams. This copper composition gives it a distinctive reddish or brown tone, depending on its preservation and exposure. In total, the Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion of these coins in 1977, making it a very common date in the Lincoln Memorial cent series. In fine condition, which means moderate wear with all major details visible but no luster or sharp features, the 1977 D penny holds only face value, 1 cent. Fine condition is considered circulated, and since the coin was produced in such massive numbers, there's no scarcity or collector demand at that level of wear. For a 1977 D penny to have collectible value, it needs to be in uncirculated mint state condition, especially MS-65 or higher, with full original red color and sharp details. Such examples can sell for around $1 to $5, while high-end certified pieces, MS-67 Red, can be worth $50 to $100 or more, though these are not easy to find. There are no major known doubled dies or significant varieties for the 1977 D penny, unlike the famous 1972 Philadelphia doubled die. That said, minor mint errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or repunched mint marks, RPMs, can occur and sometimes fetch small premiums, generally $5 to $50, depending on the error's size and clarity. Historically, the 1977 D penny is part of the final years before the U.S. Mint switched from full copper to cheaper zinc core cents in 1982 due to rising metal costs. It reflects a time when pennies were still relatively heavy and made of valuable material. While it is not rare, it remains part of a long-running and iconic coin series, and in pristine condition, it can be a nice addition to a Lincoln cent collection.